Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you a fantastic high baritone ukulele from Kevin Mason, luthier. This is a wonderful, kind of like a hybrid baritone. It boasts a slightly longer than 18-inch scale length, meaning if I were to grab a ruler and go from the nut to the saddle right here, it's about 18 and 3/8 inches, which is slightly shorter than your typical baritone, which is about 19 inches, 19.25, but much more than a tenor, which is around 17.25 inches. So with this, you can have a lot of unique things going on with it. You have like that bigger baritone body. So if you're more of a guitar player, or Mika, I want a baritone, size instrument, or I want that sound. Well, this is that instrument that you can get that really deep sound. So you could tune this as a baritone, but you can also tune it as in B flat 6 tuning. Now, Mika, what is B flat 6 tuning? Essentially means right now the way it's tuned, all of the letters in the tuning is just tuned down one letter. So essentially, on the ukulele, if I were to go ahead and get a capo, or if I were to bar the second fret, this would be your standard G, C, E, A tuning. So the proof would be this is like your C major chord, G7, C. But now everything is tuned down pretty much 2 steps or a whole step and stuff. So now you get this nice, wonderful B flat 6 tuning. And what that does is when you tune the instrument down to a lower tuning, you have a few things that happen. The string tension gets looser, so meaning that you can do whammies and bends and all these kind of cool stuff. But it also means that it's easier to go ahead and hold. The tension is lighter, so you can hold barred chords. You can hold just pretty much any kind of chord easier, as it's not as tight, or you don't have to put as much pressure down on the fretboard. What also helps too with the playability of this instrument is that it also has a radius fretboard as well. So that also helps alleviate some of that bar chord struggles that a lot of us will have when we encounter playing instruments. So it makes it a little easier to go ahead to make your bar chord because you have a slight curvature built in to the fretboard. So beyond those kind of logistics, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the aesthetics of this instrument. So we have Western red cedar here on the top, really nice kind of golden caramel or baked caramel type of color. And then when we go on the sides and then the back, we have really nice walnut with the curl right here baked into the wood. Really nice stuff, perfectly book matched. And then even here on the sides, just like that. We have this nice big side sound port, usually bigger than normal. Usually most side ports are about maybe half this, maybe 3/4 of the size of this, but with this one you have a nice bigger side port. So with the side ports, you're gonna get more breadth of the instrument. So what I mean by that is because most ukuleles without the side port will only have the sound hole right here in the middle, you're only going to have the sound coming out from the front. By having another side port or a hole right here on the side of the instrument, it allows the air to come out of another part of the instrument, meaning the instrument can breathe. The sound really just encapsulates like this kind of bubble. Like I like to think of a bubble, and we're inside this bubble, so the instrument kind of breathes out and it just sounds airier to my ears. All subjective, of course. You guys can kind of hear it for yourselves and what you guys think, but this is what the side port does. And this is really good too with the side port along with this instrument because we have a B flat 6 tuning. When you tune your instrument lower, you can go ahead and have a bigger sound and a warmer sound. So when you play a chord like this, it's just so sweet sounding. Just listen to that. It just really resonates and it sings. And again, with this side port, because there's a hole right here, the sound is actually coming out of the side too, and it's kind of coming towards my face, so I can go ahead and hear what the instrument would sound like if I was sitting in front of the instrument, because we know it's impossible to be the one playing the instrument, but also sitting in front of the instrument. I mean, we could do this, but you can't really do much. So with this side sound port, you can go ahead and hear an accurate representation of what it would sound like if you were the one playing, but you get to really sit in front of the instrument and listen to it. So just really wonderful sounds coming from the instrument. I have to be strong and wait a few more minutes to talk about the sound because I'm really in love with the sound of this instrument. But let's go ahead and finish up with the aesthetics. Beautiful instrument. So again, walnut here on the sides and the back, Western red cedar on the front, binded with Macassar ebony all around the sides, so you get that kind of nice darker brown chocolate color. And then even here on the back strip, we have it here on the bridge, on the fretboard, as well as the headstock. And then we have Spanish cedar neck, gloss finish here on the back, Rubner tuners, again, it has this overall very woody type of aesthetic with the with that kind of caramel color with the cedar, and then also with that brown color with the macassar, the darker brown with the macassar binding, as well as that walnut, the brown with the walnut color, along with this kind of darker Spanish cedar neck along with that sock. So a very woody kind of aesthetic, which I really love. And then even gotta point out that this nice big old rosette, we have walnut within as the wood, along with the abalone shell that comes in the middle of the ring right here. And then a beautiful, nice little flower, mother of pearl inlay with some other various abalone inlay, and then some other wood purfling right here to act as a stem. So beautiful artwork right here in the around, what is that, around the 12th fret of the instrument. So okay, now getting into the sound of this. So one of my things with baritone instruments is that when I play a baritone instrument, and this kind of comes down to like my upbringing of being like kind of classically trained, and I want to hear certain kind of sounds in the sound spectrum when I play an instrument. Very subjective, this is what I want to hear. But when you play baritone, sometimes you can lose some of that higher end or that clarity. You get a lot of more warmer overtones because you have a bigger body, so the instrument can hit those lower frequencies. But what this instrument does such a good job of is that when I pluck this A string, it slices through and it just projects forward. So it has a nice, like this ukulele has multiple dynamics going on with the slicing and the clarity of that A string. But then when you play like this, the top string, it still has a lot of like underneath oomph to the sound, especially like the top two strings. But then when you combine that with the A string, and I play this G7 chord, or I guess this F7 chord, that A string really jumps out. So it's really nice for fingerstyle, because as a fingerstyle player, you really need that melody to come forth, and usually the melody is on that bottom string. So you can just really hear it. Again, that really deep, low frequency sound. Love it. Everything's just so well balanced. Everything just kind of cuts through. This is just a really nice sounding ukulele. I love it. The B flat 6 tuning is just really magical with this instrument. Such a clean instrument. And listen to how clean it is here on the 7th, 9th, 12th fret. Or even right here. Oh my gosh. How articulate that is. Again, that A string, I'm all the way up here on the 12th fret, 15th fret, so clean. Absolutely amazing stuff. This dynamic-wise, this instrument is just really my cup of tea. So let's go ahead and do this. The River Flows in You sounded really nice on this, so I'll try and do a little more of it. So absolutely beautiful, this instrument. Now, I will showcase a little bit of strumming, although baritones aren't really used for strumming. Don't quote me on that, but usually it's best to go ahead and do fingerstyle on baritone. But just for just to see what this ukulele will sound like with some strumming, here we go. Try to strum a little light.